I moved to New York City and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes.
We hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
I was waking up in the morning and the first thing I was doing is popping pills and smoking a blunt and starting my day.
Put a handler next to him to keep him in check.
I'm starting to believe that Cory Gamble is CIA.
Cory is a plant, but he's there for the agenda and control and the power of that family.
Cory Gamble has questionable connections to Diddy. For a long time, Cory has been employed by Diddy. He has been instructed on what to do and how to clean up a messy situation. Cory was able to climb the ladder and latch on to celebrities like Usher, then Justin Bieber, and now the Kardashians. Because of the Diddy investigation, people are questioning Cory Gamble's intentions. So let's get into it. If you aren't subscribed to the Let's Get Into It podcast, then you're only getting half the tea. For longer videos, deep dives, and of course, more of me, subscribe to the Let's Get Into It podcast listed in the description below. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about Cory Gamble and his connection to Diddy because ever since Diddy has been investigated, Cory has been keeping a low profile for a good reason because these two have a complicated relationship which involves Usher and Justin Bieber. In this video, we're going to break down how Usher is mentored by Diddy at his flavor camp. Then we're going to talk about how Usher finds Justin Bieber and introduces him to Diddy. Then we're going to talk about the allegations that Justin was harmed by Diddy during his teen years. Then we're going to get into how Justin got onto hard drugs because of what he went through at the hands of Diddy. There are allegations that Diddy had introduced him to drugs, that he couldn't handle the pressures of fame, and of course Diddy wasn't the person there to support him. Cory was also close to Kim Porter and Diddy actually employed Cory Gamble as a handler for Justin Bieber to make sure he doesn't snitch, which we've always known that Cory has a close relationship to Justin. So it's interesting to see that Cory is like hired by Diddy to keep Justin quiet about what Justin had gone through. Let's start off with Usher's relationship with Diddy because Usher claims that he had saw some very curious things while living at P. Diddy's mansion at the age of 14. Usher was signed when he was 13 years old and the label's co-founder L.A. Reid struggled to market Usher and decided to send him to live with Diddy in New York to develop a more edgy image. L.A. wrote in his memoir, he told Diddy, "Will you take this kid and teach him your swagger? Can you give him some of your flavor?" I wanted Usher to be edgier than his record label had been. Now in August 2016, Usher opened up to Howard Stern about living with Diddy for a year after moving to New York City. Howard further questioned why such a young kid was in a situation like at Diddy's home. Usher was quoted saying, "It's pretty wild. It was crazy. There were very curious things taking place and I didn't necessarily understand it." I mean, that makes sense. He probably shouldn't be able to understand it because he's just a young teen and he shouldn't be involved in any of the messy things that Diddy has been accused of.
I moved to New York City and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
Sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some...
Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Now, I don't know if Usher is nervous to talk about what he had seen, but he doesn't go into explicit detail. But the way that he does speak of it, it's clear that he saw things that were very inappropriate. Now that Usher has kids of his own, Howard was curious if he'd ever send them to Puffy Flavor Camp. And this is what Usher had to say.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
I think there's a good reason why he says hell no, and I think that he understands more than anyone else that there is a pathway to success in the music music industry, and sometimes it's, you know, giving up everything you've got, your innocence, and you know, succumbing to someone like Diddy, who is truly a monster.
You want to make it in this business, you have to be willing to make the sacrifices that come with it.
Now, there was a time where Diddy accidentally revealed that he and Usher slept together in the same bed. In a 2012 drunken interview, Diddy, who was partying with Usher at the time, accidentally said, "That's my brother right there. From day one, we used to wake up together." The interviewer started laughing at the accidental spill, but the rapper, whose arm was around Usher's shoulder, went on to remind people how young he was when they lived together.
Fresh off the garden stage, that's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, I mean, damn, pause, but like, check this out. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes.
Fans were quick to call Diddy out on their relationship, quote, saying, "A grown man wrestling with a 14-year-old over cereal? Yeah, nothing weird about that one." Which clearly that is a bizarre story to tell, and people are noticing that, okay, you're saying that, you know, he was 10 years old when he was sleeping in the bed with you, and that you guys were, you know, wrestling over some cereal, which, keep in mind that, like, Diddy is a, you know, good amount, you know, older than Usher. It's not like they're really close in age. So it is weird to think about this grown man wrestling with a kid that he's having sleep in his bed. I mean, it's giving very much Michael Jackson, and I'm sure Diddy was very upset that this footage had gotten out. I want to talk a little bit about how Justin Bieber plays into here, because Cory is very close to Justin. Now, Scooter Braun is credited with discovering Justin Bieber, but Usher instantly took Justin under his wing, and Justin Bieber's friendship began with Diddy when he was 15 years old. Diddy served as Justin's mentor. The two of them allegedly spent the night together in the recording studio. Around that time, a video was made where Diddy had claimed that he had been given custody of Justin through Usher. Standing next to a young Usher, Diddy said that he signed to Usher and I have legal guardianship over Usher when he did his first album. So now he doesn't have legal guardianship of Bieber, but for the next 48 hours, he's with him and they're going to go, quote, full crazy. Which, why does a grown man want to go full crazy with a 15-year-old?
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So
Now, because of this video and so many other bizarre moments between Diddy and Justin Bieber, there are rumors that Justin may have been harmed by Diddy in an inappropriate way, which we do not have like explicit proof of, but I do want to talk about these rumors because they play into why Cory Gamble would be so important in this relationship. Videos have actually resurfaced of Justin at one of Diddy's white parties, which it sounds like parties hosted by Diddy are not parties that people like you and I attend. They're parties that get very inappropriate and where he probably demands things of people. And because he's such a powerful figure, no one can really say no, or they felt like they couldn't. We all know that Justin had a time where he was partying a lot, he was peeing in public, he was getting himself in trouble. And in my opinion, it seems like he was coping. And there are some fans that believe that he was coping with what Diddy had done to him. He didn't really have any way to come to terms with it, and no one can speak out against him. And I honestly believe to this day that Diddy has a grip over Justin. And until Diddy is completely gone, Justin won't be able to speak his truth.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, you know, shrooms, everything. And you have all these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that, like, I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live, drinking, smoking. I was waking up in the morning and the first thing I was doing is popping pills and smoking a blunt and starting my day.
Now, there was an instance where there could have been a song by Justin that referred to Diddy. There's actually articles questioning whether this song that Justin Bieber created about Diddy is real. This song has lyrics like, quote, "I lost myself at a Diddy party." Now, there's no real confirmation that this song is real, and it could be AI generated because that's been happening a lot with music. But here is a snippet of this song, and if he did sing about Diddy and losing himself at one of those parties, it would line up with what we're talking about here. Although the song has been speculated to be AI generated, you guys must admit from those lyrics, it does seem like it's pretty valid. It has social media digging into the truth behind Justin Bieber and Diddy's relationship. And that's why clips like this one has gone viral, where you will see that Diddy is saying hi to Justin, and then it seems like he's touching Justin to see if he has a wire on him. Either way, the interaction is odd, and that's why it has gone viral. Now I want to talk about Cory Gamble and how he plays into these relationships. Now, Cory was very close to Kim Porter and Diddy. Kim Porter is Diddy's ex, and she mysteriously died. If you have not seen my video on that, definitely go and check it out. But Cory was close to both of them. To remind you guys, Cory met Kris Jenner all the way back in 2014 at a birthday party. It wasn't long before Cory started popping up and Kris snaps after the event, and these two have been pretty much inseparable ever since. Cory had previously been with a housewife named Sheree, and then it looked like Kris was really going through it with Caitlyn. So honestly, these two were ready for each other. It also helps that Kris is pretty much a manager for all of her, daughters. So she works in the industry, and he also works as a talent manager for Scooter Braun's company. Cory is thought to have been working as Justin Bieber's tour manager when he first met Kris, but according to people, the pair seem to be close pals, with Cory even referring to Justin as his nephew. Which I'm like, okay, wait, if Cory is Justin's uncle, who would be Cory's brother to be the daddy? Like, would that be Diddy would be the daddy? I don't know. My mind just went there, and I'm not happy about it. Now, for Cory, Kim Porter, and Diddy, they go all the way back. There's tons of pictures of these two together, and there's people who actually have found some issues with Cory being so close to these people. This person wrote on Twitter, "I want to remind everyone that Kris Jenner's boyfriend, Cory Gamble, has repeatedly said he helped raise Kim Porter and Diddy's kids. That means Cory and Kris knew about the abuse and the harm, but still stayed silent. This reminds me of when Kris stayed silent to protect OJ when he was harming Nicole Simpson. Patterns always repeat, and Kris knew." Now, we don't know how Kim Porter died, but Cory was very close to her, and it was under mysterious circumstances. So I find it interesting that Cory was at her house the day that she had passed away. I mean, he was so close to her that she was there before she died. So, I mean, what was he up to, and how involved was he with Diddy and Kim and their kids and everything messy going on there? I mean, it seems like he is Diddy's cleaner-upper.
How am I just now finding out that not only was Cory Gamble extremely close to Kim Porter and Diddy, he was there. He was there when the coroners arrived to Kim Porter's house. I just don't get it. How has this man been everywhere, have connections with everyone, but he is really only known as Kris Jenner's boyfriend?
Now, I don't think Kanye West is someone we need to fully rely on, but he has said things about Cory Gamble that makes me question what he has seen. I mean, if Kanye West is expressing concerns over Cory, then maybe we should be concerned.
I know y'all remember when Kanye West came out and was talking about Cory Gamble. And at the time, I kind of thought it was funny because I'm like, dang, Cory is just catching strays left and right from Kanye for no reason. He said that Cory is CIA. He said he thought Cory was made in a lab. He said he don't know where Cory came from. And Kanye might have honestly been onto something, especially with the CIA thing, because we know Diddy and how he's connected with the police. I'm starting to believe that Cory Gamble is CIA, allegedly.
Now, again, Kanye says a lot of things and a lot of offensive things, so we don't really subscribe to what he has to say. I mean, unless he's got evidence to prove it. But Kanye tried exposing Corey of being a handler while admitting that Chris put a handler on him. So Kanye is claiming that he's able to identify a handler when he sees one, and that's exactly what Cory Gamble is. Kanye writes, "God has a plan to remove the godless Corey, needed to never be here anyway. And I think he's a nice person, but not a great person. A nice person who used to be around Diddy's family, then got around Justin Bieber, and then when Chris got divorced, he slid in. He became the TV version of a father figure and has always called himself a real person. He once told my wife that he knew what music she should be listening to. So when I seen him a week later, I had to remove him from my daughter's birthday party." Ooh, messy. Just to remind you guys, Kanye claims that he had a professional handler put on him, and it does seem like that is true. I mean, I've actually wanted to make a video specifically about this man because he's supposedly a professional celebrity handler, but leave a comment below if you guys want me to talk about that or not.
They put a handler next to him to keep him in check. Harley Pasternak is a former Department of Defense special agent in the Canadian government. Number one, he's a nutritional scientist for the Department of Defense in the Canadian government. So he knows chemistry, how foods operate, but he knows certain drug techniques to use on human beings. He told Kanye, "We're going to have a conversation, but we're not going to have a conversation where you're cursing or using profanity, and don't tell me about some stupid thing that your friend told you." The second option is, I can have you committed again. First of all, that's a threat to a psychiatric facility where you're going to be so doped up, playtime with the kids won't be the same. Wait a minute, you were the one that sent him to the psych ward in the first place. Now everybody can't say he's crazy. No, he is being handled by an agent who was sent to be right next to him to make sure that he doesn't get out of line. But Harley Pasternak also had other clients like Halle Berry, Jennifer Hudson, multiple clients. You need to look at this individual, and that is not somebody who should be around you. All of the artists, all of y'all have someone around you who is being sat next to you, who was sent there to keep you under control. That is a guaranteed fact. That I know.
Honestly, hearing about this professional handler makes me question everything about the Kardashians. I mean, I feel like they are strategic and they know what they're doing. I wonder if Corey is actually handling Kris Jenner, but I think she's almost like too smart for that. I think she likes what he does and she helps him in ways to keep people like Justin Bieber under control. And they tried to do this same thing with Kanye, but clearly Kanye doesn't like being told what to do.
Corey is a plant. Corey was, Puff Daddy, Manny. You know what I'm saying? Then he was with Justin Bieber when Justin Bieber got in trouble. And then when Bruce did a transition to Caitlyn, he popped up. Now he run around like he Kylie Daddy. But he's there for the agenda and controlling the power of that family.
Now, I could imagine Corey being this malicious person that works side and side with Diddy. I mean, it is believable that Corey could be guilty of this because there are claims from Corey's ex that are pretty problematic. For example, his ex described him as violent. His ex's name is Cherie. She appeared on Atlanta Exes and she spent 3 years in a relationship with Corey. She said that he got violent when their relationship hit the rocks, which we've talked about this relationship in a video in the past. If you guys want to go and see what I've said about Cory Gamble before. We've also talked about his stalking allegations. Yes, his ex-wife Cherie claims that Corey is a stalker. She got an order of protection against him according to the Daily Mail. Apparently Chris doesn't believe that Corey is a stalker. She clearly heard his side of the story and is believing him 100%. But Cherie says that Corey is just after the Kardashian money. She says that he's violent and he's also an opportunist. She also described him as money hungry. And maybe he is money hungry, and if he is money hungry and he's with the Kardashians, he's probably very full, so maybe he wouldn't be violent. Not to like act like I'm joining Corey's side, but just to like, question it. I mean, if he is money hungry, then he got to the money, so he must be full now. But either way, I wonder what Corey thinks of Diddy getting in trouble and whether Diddy is going to pull down Corey with him. And then if Corey's pulled into it, does that mean the Kardashians are going to be pulled into it next? Maybe the entire entertainment industry is going to crumble, but I can't imagine it going all the way that far because Diddy is powerful, but also this entire group of really terrible people, they're really powerful. So they might be able to stop it and just put it all on Diddy and, lock him away and act like they've solved the problem for a while. But I hope you guys enjoyed and you like my Camp Poosh hat. Yes, I went to Camp Poosh, which is Kourtney Kardashian's brand. None of the Kardashians were there. I was actually on the list, so slay, they must like me. I posted a video about Kylie the day that I went to the event. So I was a little bit nervous, but you know what? I got to do what I got to do. And I went to Camp Poosh. So if they were there and I talked to them, I would have asked them questions. You know, I like to ask questions, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another one soon. Bye, guys.